Hey everybody, this is Shane from Shane's Books and Review. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and this book review might be a little bit on the solemn side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pictures up here to show you guys what kind of weather we're dealing with, and I'm trying to keep it quiet so I don't wake the kids. But beyond that, I hope that you guys have had a fantastic day and that you have a fantastic day tomorrow. Let's get on with it, shall we? Today we're going to be talking about To Kill a Mockingbird from Harper Lee. Now, this book, of course, it's a classic. Yes, it won Pulitzer Prizes pretty much as soon as it came out. But do I think it's relevant in today's society? Not so much. And in fact, I think that it's filled full of hate. Do I like the book? Not really. There's a lot of language in it that I just don't find myself comfortable with. And today, that kind of language isn't needed at all. The main story in my mind is about Atticus, and Atticus is appointed by a judge to defend a man against a false rape. That in itself would be a okay story. Then you got the story of the two kids that don't realize that they're related in some parts, and in other parts do realize that they're related. And their struggles growing up in that society during that time period. There's a lot of good old boy mentality in the book of, the whole reason why your father Atticus was appointed to this was because the judge knew that he would be as fair as possible, that kind of a thing. But I mean, those kinds of things don't really make a good story. I do understand what Harper Lee was trying to do. I see that she was trying to get something out there that would help disband some of the ignorance and some of the hate mongering. And it was different then than it is now. Now it's a lot more sneaky than it used to be then. People used to be way out in the open about things, and now people are closeted, and every once in a while they'll pop off with something that's inappropriate and not needed and sets us back as a society. And this book, I think, kind of does the same thing. If there's young, impressionable minds that are leaning one way or the other towards I'm going to be a hate-filled bigot versus I'm going to be a not hate-filled bigot, this book is not going to help them at all. And in fact, it kind of glorifies some of the things that we have been striving as a society to get rid of. As far as the morality dilemma of the book, I've seen some reviews and some people talking about it saying that this is a really deep thing and it has to do with, is humanity inherently evil or is it exceptionally good? I think that people are reading too much into it. I really think people are reading too much into this book. Yes, you can use that argument to say it needs to be read by school, or it needs to be read in college, or it needs to be read here. But let's look at it at face value. You got a lot of people with a lot of hate. You've got one person that, even though he's been out in the world, he hasn't lost his faith in what people are capable of and good. But for the most part, everybody is just jaded and filled with hate-mongering speech and put people down type of a thing. And I think for that argument, they would say that the children are the device that she was trying to use to blah, blah, blah. Not to take anything away from scholarly people, but I mean, let's look at it at face value. There are other books that are much better wrote that don't have this kind of language in them that you can use to show about good versus evil. It wasn't well wrote, and yes, there is a lot of story there where it comes to the interplay between Scout and Jim. They got themselves into all kinds of shenanigans during that summer between playing in other people's yards and running up on Boo Ridley. But Boo's really not his name, is it? And then towards the end, whenever Ridley comes out and does something for them, that was the best part of the book to me. I mean, he stepped up, he defended the two kids against that jerk of a neighbor they had. Then they have to decide if they're going to out him and put him in court. And them just making it through a summer and a half in a way. At the end, that was okay. It wasn't well done. The thing that ate me the most about this book was she made that part of the story more important at the end. That the guy that went out and protected the two kids against the other guy was actually a hero in her mind. That's not the way that I saw it at all. The guy that went to jail, I mean, he put up with a lot of crap and a lot of junk from a lot of people through his whole life. And he saw how the system was going to do him. He saw how things were going to work, and he didn't want any part of it. And at first chance that he got, quote unquote, he ran. I don't even know if I believe that. During that time period, people weren't fair and non-judgmental at all. People were, your skin pigment might be a little bit different than mine. All right, you don't even belong under my shoe. Even in today's society, some of the places I've been, I've seen the same type of things, and it's heartbreaking. It's not cool at all. If you look at it in that light, there's really not any redeeming qualities still, because you've got a poor story of two kids getting into junk that they're not supposed to get into. And then you've got one guy, which is their dad, that gets assigned to be the lawyer for this other guy that did something that he didn't actually do. He gets to court, and he gets steamrolled, essentially, even though the facts, and even though there's no evidence and there's no anything, the guy still gets a conviction. After that, life gets back to normal. Yay, everything's fine. Then towards the end, you have a neighbor that got put on the stand, and he told him through foreshadowing, "Ooh, I'm going to get you if it's the last thing I do." And the book is resolved with him, quote, falling on his knife, which really didn't happen. Not really a good story. On my rating scale, what would I give it? I think I'm going to use a poop emoji for this one. I give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poop emojis because I absolutely hated it. Did make my way all the way through it. I did read the whole thing, and I tried to address it with a fair and open mind, but it's really hard to read a book that has to do with so much hate and keep a fair and open mind about it. That being said, next book review is going to be from a guilty pleasure of mine. That's right, B.V. Larson. He's got a new one, or at least it's new to me, that came out. And we'll see about that one whenever I get done. Till then, I hope that the snow that's out there doesn't keep you down. If you find a good book in between now and my next video, do let me know about it down there in the description below so I can read it with you guys. And have a great day.